It's time for another interview with friends. Today I'd like you to meet somebody who loves to go birding near her home and on her bicycle. She knows the birds well by their appearance and also by the sounds that they make. She's what you might call a bird expert. Her name is Vjera Thompson.
Hi, Dennis.
Well, hi, Vjera.
Would you like to go for a ride?
Let's do it. Well, Vjera, it rained a little bit. Does that happen when you're out on your bicycle birding?
It does happen. I have good rain gear to help with the weather occasionally here.
Well, that's good. Well, I want to hear a little bit more about what you call patch birding.
So, yeah, I really like birding the same places over and over, especially the ones close to my house. And I really love that you can get to know the space and the rhythms, the seasons. I heard a term yesterday called placekeeping, and I think that actually fits with it probably. That you're, I look at the stick and I don't just see a stick, I see, oh, there's a kingfisher that has sat on that stick before, and there's often gadwall in this bend, and last year I had baby shovelers in this pond. And so getting to know the places and just the rhythm of it. And then the real fun is when you find something that's not normally there and you know that's not normally in this park. A couple years ago, I was biking through the park, Meadowlark Prairie, which is near my house, and I often bike here on the weekends. I was biking through and heard a song that I knew wasn't normal in this park. And I stopped and went, okay, I should know what this bird is. And I'm like, oh, that's a red-eyed vireo. And it turned out it was only red-eyed vireo in Lake County that year.
Wow, that's amazing.
So, but the level of excitement when you know you've never had it in the park before, or maybe you've never had it in this corner of the park before, is you just don't get that when it's your first time to a place, right? You have to go.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
have to go multiple times before you know it. And then I can just sense, oh, it's about time to hear a warbling vireo, or normally that tree is budding when I see this, or this is blooming when I first get to see rufous hummingbirds. So just like the layers of getting to know the place and knowing the birds is a really fun part of patch birding.
I bird in my neighborhood maybe 3 to 4 times a week. That would be patch birding too?
That would be, yeah.
Yeah, because I've noticed a lot of things that change just over the seasons and actually over the years too.
So yeah, and that's one of the other reasons I do it, is the data. If you're birding the same place all the time, the trends will be more visible in eBird, right? Not only can I make fun bar charts and graphs and stuff in eBird, and it'll tell me if it's the first time I've had something here, but hopefully the fact that I'm birding the same place the same way over and over, that there'll be more trends visible in the data that scientists will be able to use as well. So, but yes, your yard is a really good place to do patch birding. You're probably the only person birding your yard, right?
Yes.
So it's and I love that, that I can make a difference in my little postage stamp in this world, that knowing what birds are there and documenting them is worthwhile.
Well, I think that's fantastic. I think that patch birding idea is really good. I hope that catches on. I think a lot of people think they have to go to wild and far away places to go birding. And I think you're telling us that we don't have to do that.
No, we don't. There's quite a few people that have done a 5-mile radius list. During the pandemic, I took it a step farther and did a 1-mile radius list, because I was spending a lot of time within a mile of my house. And I thought, I want to know how many birds I've found within a mile of my house. So, but yeah, you don't have to go far to be able to contribute to science and see new things, right?
Yep.
I had a red-tailed hawk catch a mallard in my yard. I'm like, I didn't know red-tailed hawks caught mallards.
I didn't either.
but he did it twice, so I think they will if they're hungry enough. So, but yeah, lots of fun things like that when you get to know a place more intimately.
I had a chance to see a sharp-shinned hawk catch a junco in my backyard.
Oh.
It was pretty amazing, and it sat in the tree, and I watched it eat the whole bird, pluck all the feathers out, and it's pretty amazing. I mean, I feel sorry for the junco, but I guess the sharp-shinned hawk has to eat too.
Yeah.
And
hey, the
there's the kingfisher.
He's happy.
He's in the tree.
He's in the tree. He's usually in. Actually, it might
fantastic.
be she. Yeah.
Let's see if we can zoom in on that guy. Let's see, is it a male or a female? Oh, it's a male.
Is it the male?
A nice adult male. He looks particularly happy there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's his
Kingfisher.
regular tree. Yeah. So I was homeschooled, and my mom was really interested in connecting each of us kids with whatever we were really interested in learning about, and she figured out I was interested in birds. And so then she heard about the Audubon Third Saturday Bird Walk and got me connected with that. And then she connected me with Obal and the Christmas bird count, and then we were
Oh yeah,
yeah,
good way to get
lots
in.
Lots of connections with the birding community.
And was there anyone that was a particular influence on you?
Yeah, there were several people that were very generous in picking me up, taking me birding, learning lots about birds, teaching me about bird sounds and what's here locally. Probably one of the most significant early on was Alan Contreras.
Oh yes, I know Ellen.
Yeah, so I had gone to Malheur with my family, and it was in July, lots of mosquitoes, lots of grass, not a lot of birds. So my mom said, we need to get you out to Malheur with somebody who knows birds. She heard on Obal that there was going to be a birding thing at Malheur in September. She asked, would anybody take my daughter to Malheur? And Alan said, I'll take her to Malheur.
Well, you were pretty young then.
I was only 14.
Okay.
So, yeah. And we went to Malheur, and Alan always asks, what's on your shopping list? And so he asked me that, and I wanted to see a western meadowlark because of it being an Oregon state bird. So we chased a lot of flocks of western meadowlarks across the sage brush and the cattle fields at Malheur until I got a good look at a western meadowlark.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, that must have been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. So, and then by the time I got back from that trip, I was pretty well hooked on birding as a fun thing to do, and there's cool people, cool caring people involved in it. Yeah. You know, most people start a little bit older than I did, often not till your career or retired age, right?
Yeah.
So everybody was very excited to have a young birder to mentor, and so I plugged into a lot of stuff pretty quickly once birders met me, and they were pretty enthusiastic to encourage me to do stuff. So Reed Freeman, some of you may remember him, came to Springfield to picked me up, take me to Eugene to chase a blue jay 2 or 3 times before we finally saw it.
Yeah.
And the Mickles picked me up several times and took me to see birds. So yeah, there was a lot of that.
So what are some things that make being an eBird reviewer fun to do? I would think that's a lot of work.
Yeah, I like watching for things that seem out of the ordinary. So, and one of the perks of patch birding is that I know what's normally here at like Meadowlark Prairie. So whenever somebody posts a list at Meadowlark Prairie, I go take a look. And if there's something that seems out of place, I'll write to them and say, hey, that's unusual at this park. Can you add some more details? So that's one of the things I do. We also, Tom Mickles, the other main Lane County reviewer, and both of us, if something rare is found, we read the notes on what type of identification principles they use to identify it, and see if that's good enough to document it for science. If you don't have good notes, you may still have seen the bird, but for scientists, they want to know a little bit more than just did you see it, but here's what I saw, what I observed. So just knowing that I'm helping document it for scientists and future generations as opposed to just seeing the birds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody ever get mad at you for telling them that they need more information?
So I think we get ignored more than people get mad at us, but a lot of people are thankful, and sometimes they catch typos where people didn't mean to put that in the database, and then I say, well, that's not usually a rough-legged hawk there, and they go, oh, well, I didn't mean to type a rough-legged hawk in the database today. So. But yes, we try our best to be considerate that it might have been a typo, or they may just not have known about adding details, right? The other main part of eBird I do is with hotspots. So trying to decide if a birding location should be a public birding location in eBird. So, which that involves suggestions from the local birder, but then I often go to other local birders to say, what does it look like when you get there? Are there signs? Are there boundaries? Is this a good place? Is it public? Is it not public? So I have people all over the state that I email and talk to about whether to add a hotspot or
so
not.
you do that statewide,
I do
locally.
hotspots statewide, and then eBird reviewer just for Lane County. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So have started with the Christmas bird count when I was probably 14 or 15, and worked my way up to leader, and then data compiler, where I gather all the numbers from everybody and put them into a spreadsheet and submit them to Audubon. And then just this last year, Dick Lamster retired, and they came and asked me, Vjera, will you be the main person overseeing the Eugene Christmas bird count? So I said, okay, we'll see if we can do this one too. So,
from what I understand, you're pretty good at data and statistics and stuff like that.
yeah, I've always enjoyed working with spreadsheets and putting my birds, not just seeing the birds, but tracking them. Both, I've got a very complicated spreadsheet to keep track of county birds, month birds, life birds, western birds, eastern Oregon birds. So getting data, not just so I can see my numbers, but so hopefully some scientists can use them to follow trends as well.
A couple years ago, I decided to update the grass in my yard and put in some native plants. I tried to take a picture once a month to track the progress. Here is a quick summary of how it went. I got a big pile of wood chips and a bunch of cardboard and laid them down over the grass. And then I waited about a year and to let the grass break down underneath the wood chips. Then I met with Cynthia at Doak Nursery and picked out plants that would be appropriate for the space. Planting day was Valentine's Day, February 2024. In this picture, you can see that most of the plants are small and don't have leaves. The two with greenery are the blue blossom ceanothus behind the skinny maple in the forefront, and on the right there is a manzanita. In March, not much had changed. In April, by April 3rd, the first red flowering currant was blooming on the left side there in front of the fence, the little tiny bush with pink flowers. April 15th, we've got more greenery coming out, and by May, everything has filled out nicely. The taller bush on the right back side is a native azalea. In June, the blanket flowers started blooming. They were very prolific bloomers until the first frost toward the end of the year, and you will see several months of them. There's also a pink flower on the left that is a checker mallow. In July, August, September, and October, the blanket flower continued to bloom. Also, in October, you can see the Douglas aster are just under the peak of the roof behind the blanket flower. In November, the blanket flower is still blooming, but by December they are trailing off with the first killing frost, and the red flying currant on the left has orange leaves now, and you'll notice how much bigger it is than it was in March. In January, most things are dormant. There's a red flowering currant is the tallest bush in the back toward the center. In February, a year after planting, we still have a lot of dormancy. On February 14th, we had a snow exactly 1 year after planting. Then March 15th, the red flowering currant have started to bloom on the left side of the yard. And then by March 28th, all three red flowering currants are in gorgeous bloom. You can see the three bushes with pink flowers. In April, they are still blooming, but by May, the red flowering currant is done blooming, and the blue blossom ceanothus in the forefront has blooms on it, which the insects are very attracted to. In June, the blanket flower has reemerged. It did not bloom as much in the second year, but it was still present. And in July, lots of greenery, not much visible blooming in this section of the yard. By September, after a hot summer, the red flying currant has started dropping its leaves. And in November, we're moving toward dormancy again, as well as December. And then in January, I took the photo on a day with a heavy cold frost, and so that's why this picture looks very cold. And then February, 2 years after planting day, you can see that the yard has filled out quite nicely. The darker bush in the middle is the patch of Douglas aster, and then bordered on either side by the blue blossom ceanothus on the left and the manzanita on the right. I am very pleased with how much it has progressed in 2 years, and the having additional habitat in my yard to provide a safe haven for birds.